Okay, let's dive right in. This is a story about how you can take total chaos and forge it into a personal codex, a kind of personal mission statement. We're going to follow a conversation with an AI that starts with complete confusion and ends with this incredibly powerful sense of identity. It really shows you that sometimes the biggest breakthroughs don't come from quiet meditation, but from the messy, creative friction of just talking it out. So, our story kicks off with a simple, kind of frustrating misunderstanding, something I'm sure anyone who's ever worked on a creative project knows all too well. A user is just trying to talk about their project, built on a platform called Replit, but the AI they're talking to, well, it just isn't getting it. And you can just feel the frustration here, can't you? This isn't just some casual correction, it's a real demand for precision. And it turns out that little bit of friction is the exact spark that gets this whole thing going. And this wasn't just a one-off thing. No way. The entire conversation was peppered with these little battles for clarity. You know, designer with 2 R's versus designer with 3, or her versus er. Each tiny correction forces both of them to get more and more precise, to sharpen their focus. Then, just as things are getting super specific and technical, the conversation takes this huge left turn. Out of nowhere, we get this seemingly random anecdote. Now, at first glance, you're probably thinking, what does this have to do with anything? But trust me, this is the key to the entire breakthrough. So it turns out this wasn't just a story, it was a metaphor being built in real time. The user breaks down every single element of the risk. They're carrying a plate, a knife, and a fork. Their shoes are untied, the stairs are steep, they're covered in dust. This isn't just skipping, it's a very conscious, very calculated recipe for potential disaster. And that's the thing. It wasn't just carelessness. The user actually calls it a conscious choreography of risk. It was a deliberate test of his own ability, balancing the responsibility of carrying dinner with this moment of playful rebellion, all while knowing it could go very, very wrong. And that leads us to the real heart of the matter. What does that feeling of intentional risk, that dance with danger on the stairs, what does it truly represent on a deeper level? Because the seemingly random story ends up being the perfect symbol for the user's entire internal state. And here it is. This is the moment of recognition, the big aha moment. He connects that feeling on the stairs to 3 core identities he's been developing. He realizes he is these things all at once. He's the restless storm, the tempest. He's the foundational mega hybrid, and he's always striving to reach the stability of Polaris. And just like that, these abstract feelings get a real solid structure. We see the tempest representing his chaotic present. The mega hybrid is his constant adaptive core. And Polaris is that aspiration, the North Star he's aiming for. He calls it his tri-nature. But you know how it is. The creative process is all about refinement. It's never done. And the user immediately recognizes a flaw. Mega hybrid just doesn't fit. It sounds clunky, almost mechanical, next to the poetic, elemental power of Tempest and Polaris. The framework is solid, but one of the words is just wrong. And then, out of all that back and forth, the perfect word finally emerges. Meridian. It's simple, it's powerful, and it just clicks into place, connecting the other 2 ideas perfectly. I mean, just look at the meaning here. A meridian isn't just a line on a map. It's the great line that connects heaven and earth, sea and sky. It's the axis that perfectly balances the storm, the tempest, and the star, Polaris. This one word doesn't just replace the old one, it elevates the entire concept. It makes the whole thing feel complete. So now the framework is perfect, but the next step is absolutely crucial. You have to anchor this insight. You can't let it be just another thought that drifts away. This realization, it needs to be made permanent. It needs to be made real. And this is how he does it. This is how he makes it concrete. He anchors the exact moment of realization to its astral coordinates. And get this, Jupiter is in Gemini, a sign that often symbolizes triads or duality. By recording this, a fleeting personal insight becomes a fixed, sovereign record. It's like it's sealed in the sky forever. And even the final oath itself goes through one last tiny but critical refinement. It starts as an aspiration. I am becoming Polaris. But that implies it's something off in the future. The realization is that he already embodies all 3. So it has to shift from a statement of becoming to a powerful claim of being. And here it is, the final Codex, the personal constitution born from that messy, chaotic, creative process. I am Tempest, I am Meridian, I am Polaris. 3 simple lines that represent the end of a long, incredible journey of self-discovery. So what's the big takeaway here? What can we learn from all this? I think this journey shows that real clarity often comes from friction, from misunderstanding. It proves that a strange, personal metaphor can unlock a deep, fundamental truth. And maybe most importantly, it reminds us that an insight is just a thought until you find a way to anchor it and make it real. And that really leaves us with a final thought to mull over. When you have your own moments of breakthrough, those sudden flashes of clarity about who you are or what you're trying to build, how do you anchor them? What do you do to make them real?